DJ was driving on a highway in his Ford Focus RS. Suddenly, a trucker merged into the left lane without checking his mirrors. The semi-truck was rear-ended by street racers fleeing from the cops. The vehicles all lost control and crashed into DJ and other surrounding cars, causing a multi-vehicle collision. Crusher 23 was driving his Bugatti Chiron Supersport on the highway. When he floored the gas pedal, he lost control and flew off the road before crashing into the trees. The impact split his car in half, destroying this rare car completely. Fancy Frost sent us this insane video. On September 6th, 2023, a massive pileup occurred on a highway. At the same time, a plane with both engines engulfed in flames started losing altitude uncontrollably. The worst happened when the plane slammed directly toward the crashed vehicles before clipping them with its wing. All the cars were massively damaged. How much do you think the damage added up to? Logan was fixing a pothole on a highway exit with his crew. The driver of an ETK K-Series was late for his plane flight and was speeding to the airport at over 180 miles per hour. After taking a corner too fast, the driver hit a barrier and then continued down the road, rebounding at high speed into the back of a police car and slamming it into a yellow van. The propane tank sitting in front of the Gavril Scout van exploded on impact and sent the cop car and the van flying. Now that is some crazy damage. Matty was cruising in his ETK 800 series in Utah. He was speeding and cruising through traffic until he tried to overtake a car over dirt and gravel. He lost control and crashed into rocks, sustaining massive damage to his car. Mike was following right behind a semi-truck and he wasn't keeping a safe distance. Suddenly, the trucker slammed on the brakes and Mike rear-ended the truck. Right after that, Mike was rear-ended by a van. His vehicle was heavily damaged in both the front and the rear. Leo was chasing a suspect at the docks in Velasco City. He rammed the suspect vehicle a couple of times in an attempt to stop it. He then sped up and rear-ended the vehicle and began pushing it along before the criminal ran into a wall, crushing his car. The suspect was discovered to be in possession of a 9mm firearm. After being detained, it was discovered he had also been driving while intoxicated. Roadster was driving home at night when he suddenly saw two wrecked vehicles. By the time he noticed them, he wasn't very far away. All he could do was slam on the brakes as he crashed into the other vehicles. First responders didn't arrive until an hour later after deciding the scene wasn't safe for them to enter. Bob was speeding down the road on his way to work. He saw a sign warning him to slow down, but it was already too late as he was going way over the speed limit. He slammed on the brakes before sliding off the curvy road, and then he started rolling down a cliff. Raven saw a distracted trucker crash into two vehicles stopped on the shoulder. The impact caused a massive explosion. Two people were transported to a hospital with serious injuries, and all the cars involved were totaled. Zay Likes Trains stole a police car before trying to flee the city. He was driving at crazy high speeds as he took shortcuts and drifted around corners. Sadly, he hit an unexpected jump before crashing into a wall. I'm surprised how long he managed to keep driving at those speeds in the city. Chris was driving on a highway in Utah when a van merged into his lane. He swerved right to avoid the vehicle, lost control, and crashed into rocks before coming to rest upside down. Wacky sent us this insane wreck involving a Mercedes C-AMG coupe. Let's watch that destruction one more time in slow motion. This black Skoda was swerving all over the road. When an oncoming truck tried to avoid the Skoda, it crashed into a guardrail. Moments after the truck hit the barrier, it went up in the air, flying into the path of our submitter. Cactus was racing a stranger until the other guy hit a bale of hay. The car rebounded into Cactus's path and he crashed into it at full speed. The driver of a BMW M8 was racing against a Lexus GSF. The driver of a Gavril H series wasn't expecting him to be driving in the wrong lane. The BMW crashed into the other vehicle at full speed and flew into a tree. Police and medics responded, and everyone was very grateful to survive the crash. Colin was driving his Audi A6 at over 220 miles per hour. Suddenly, he lost control and rolled for 100 feet before coming to a complete stop. The police were contacted and the repair bill came to over $58,000 US. Philcos captured this epic video of a highway crash. A distracted truck driver crashed into two wrecked vehicles on the highway. After that, a sedan crashed into the tanker, causing an incredible explosion. Beckett was testing out a Nissan GT-R in GTA 5. He floored the gas pedal before losing control and hitting a concrete wall. Colin was driving at 105 miles per hour through the city when he approached an intersection. At the same time, an oncoming driver was turning left. Colin had no time to react and he T-boned the vehicle at full speed.